The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into them, and they are safe. Well, many trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God, the Maker of the heavens and the earth. Well, it's on that note that I welcome you to Press Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM Ibadan. The Easter edition of Press Drive is here this morning. Are you sleeping? Alright, you need to wake up this morning. Yes, it's holiday session. You've got holiday. It was on Friday and today Monday. And I'm sure that, yes, you can tell a friend to tell another friend that we're streaming live on Facebook at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. We're also streaming live on YouTube. Okay, you can check us out on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X. You can check us out on various social media platforms. We're active on those platforms. Okay, so get to check us out and see what we are doing there right now. Yes, the program is streaming live on Facebook. Yeah, we are there live and direct. Okay, so my name is Samson Omotosho. I'm going to be your driver this morning, so let's get started already, shall we? It's another time for us to experience, for those, of course, for the Christian faithfuls. Yes, Jesus is risen, and He's the reason for the season. Yes, let's enjoy the moment. Welcome on board. Well, I have several dailies in front of me this morning. I'll take a look at some of the major headlines, and of course on the front pages of various newspapers cut across board in our country, Nigeria. Yes, I must tell you that a lot of governors have been speaking, and of course our leaders from different government functions have been speaking, saying that yes, we need to pray for the country. We need to pray for her. We need to sacrifice more. Do we need to sacrifice more? All right, let's take a look at some of the news making headlines this morning, beginning with the Vanguard newspaper. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning, we could see this one said, oil theft persists in Niger Delta despite militarization and private security. Page 6 has the full detail of that story. A man kills a friend over motorcycle, dumps body in bush. Okay, so the Metro page of 6 also have that story. Okay, so Islamic cleric, 2 others arrested for possessing human parts in Ondo. Okay, you can check that out on the page 8 of that newspaper. Okay, so the man who killed a friend over motorcycle is also found on the page 8 of the Metro section of the Guardian newspaper. Why Nigerians suffer unstable power supply by TCN. You want to know about it, go to the page 3 of the Guardian this morning. Okay, so we could see this story that was talking about production volume. Okay, so everything about the militarization and of course how oil theft has persisted in the Niger Delta on the front page of the Guardian. Residents warn pro-Wike lawmakers over impeachment threat. Page 5 has a full detail of that story. Sani, Wike, others get ultimatum to publish agreements. Count for 5.9 trillion naira, 4.6 billion dollar loans. Okay, so page 6 has a full detail. Well, CSOs, the Chief Security Officers, write CJN, okay, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, of course, lament a poor state of judiciary. Page 5 has that. Okay, so the Chief Justice, Riwola, has been written by the CSOs. Imperative of managing fallout of the Okwama killings, editorial page 12 has the full detail of that story. Go to court. Financial burden of prosecuting electoral matters in Nigerian courts. You could see that on page 4 on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Okay, so that's the much we'll be able to take on the Guardian newspaper. Let's heat up on the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page, banks eye Euro bonds. Foreign investors for 4 trillion naira fresh capital. Okay, so for that, page 21 of the Punch has that full detail of that story. And naira closes 1,309 naira per dollar as banks sell $2.5 billion. Okay, page 22 has the full detail of that story. Dangote, 106 others get tax holiday over 2.5 trillion naira investment on the page 21 of the Punch newspaper. Yes, Easter, it's Easter Monday, and of course, governors, senators beg Nigerians, say hardships, of course, hardship over soon. They are begging Nigerians that hardship will be over soon. Okay, all right. Telling Nigerians to, just stay calm, and of course, at this point, be a little bit patient, and there's something that's going to happen soon. Page 7 has the full detail of that story. Delta bloodbath. Okay, fleeing Okwama villagers lament hunger, snake bites. On the page 27, remember. That the military has taken over that community in search of the killers of the military personnel that went on a peacekeeping mission, as the story brought it to us. Okay, so many of them have been driven to the bush. Some of them have been driven to the forest, thick forest, and they fear, of course, snake bites and hunger. Okay, another story says that Tinubu will steer Nigeria to greatness, says Zulum. Other governors preach love, condemn crimes. And another story said, of course, on the front page, we could see that, of course, clearly on the front page, a set deadline on war against terror. Kuka tells the president, Pope seek peace in Africa. Another story here, TCN raises the alarm over planned attacks on power facilities. Okay, page 26 has the full detail. Page 25, rather, has the full detail of that story. Please begin search as Benue man drowns in Ogun. On the page 5 of the Punch newspaper. Confusion as man dies in car during Good Friday service. Page 4 and 5 has a full detail of that story. Okay, so let's move on to other newspaper. Well, on the front page, we could see several stories that you could check, of course, in the paper this morning. The Vanguard newspaper telling us that Edo Guba, 16 men, okay, 16 men, 1 woman who want to succeed Obaseki. Okay, page 13, you can see the full detail of that story. Tinubu's aide, Tanko in verbal war over Peter Obi, on the page 4 of the newspaper, the Vanguard, this morning. The Monday Vanguard says, our leaders behave like men in drunken stupor. Okay, that's Kuka, Bishop Kuka speaking there. Okay, we can see why Nigerians' oil belongs to the north by Usman Bugaji. Okay, page 14 has the full detail of that story. We'll take a look at some of the stories afterwards and do some analysis on some of the story. Recapitalization. Well, we could see banks sweat over exclusion of 3.8 trillion naira retained profit on the page 20 of the Vanguard. NSCIA to governors. Stop asking Tinubu to curb insecurity in your state. Page 10 has a full detail of that story. And of course, for the Easter, OB governors, others task Christians on love as sacrifice. Page 12 of the Vanguard is where you get to see that story. Echo Disco, Dr. Tinuade holds forth as MD and CEO. On the page 23, you find that story there. And you could also see aviation fuel. Okay, domestic airlines are grown over rising price of jet A1. Okay, so page 9 has the full detail of that story. Okay, so Okwama residents trapped in forests send SOS to Tinubu Oborevori. Okay, page 5 has the full detail. And Waila Kempha is also speaking here on page 16. Page 28 has a sports story where Osimhen under fire after Napoli lost to Atalanta. Okay, so in the Serie of the Italian Serie A there, okay. Well, Chidi Odinkalu has, of course, a columnist on page 17 and Daily Shobowali on 21 page of the Vanguard newspaper. That's the much you'll be able to take on the Vanguard. Okay, so moving on to Daily Times. The Daily Times, front page of the Daily Times, first quarter of 2024, Nigerian, equalities, okay, Nigerian equities market surges by 18.2 trillion naira despite economic headwinds. Okay, we can see also here, provide template that will put Nigeria on path of national healing. Page 4, Bishop Kuka to federal government speaking there. And of course, you want to read further that story, check the page 4 of the Daily Times newspaper there. Okay, army will ensure total defeat of insurgents. Others, that's coming from Lagbaja there, talking about the chief of army staff speaking there, Lieutenant General. Okay, so well, let's look at another story there. Tinubu's promise to transform Abuja, turning out successful. Wike speaking there. Okay, Tinubu's promise to transform Abuja, turning out successful. That's coming from Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the FCT, on the page 2 of the Daily Times. Kebbi government accepts resignation of Chief Imam of oldest mosque. Page 2 has a full detail of that story as well. And on page 4, you can see Prove Matawale. Okay, Prove Matawale gave palliatives to bandits or face prosecution. APC Northwest tells PDP. And lastly, on the Daily Times, NDLEA intercepts Qatar-bound illicit drugs concealed in cassava courts. Sean's 5 million naira bribe. Okay, page 5 of the Daily Times has the full detail. Okay, so let's move on to the Daily Trust newspaper. This one says that Kaduna APC suspends a women leader for criticizing Governor Sani. You can find that out on the page 13 has the full detail of that story. Nigeria records a 55.2 billion naira trading balance with the United Kingdom. Page 23 has the full detail. Okay, so on page 35, Easter, ACF urges prayers for security and, of course, economy. And on the front page, Kebbi residents loot government, private warehouses. Okay, and of course, page 4, you get to find out full detail of that story. Ceasefire talks resume as Israel kills 400 Palestinians in 2 weeks. Okay, well, we want this bloodshed to stop. I mean, this killing and war to cease in those countries, especially when it comes to Gaza and Israel. Okay, let's look at another story. 20 die of Lassa fever in Benue. Page 12 has the full detail. And on page 4, okay, so let's look at this page. And page 8, rather. Page 8 says Kano sacks 3 health workers, suspends 3 others over extortion. And police kill, recover firearms in IPOP and ESN hideout on the page 6 of Daily Trust newspaper. That's it. That's the much you'll be able to take on the Daily Trust. Lastly, this morning on the Nation newspaper, 3 presidential jets proposed for sale. Okay, 3 presidential jets proposed for sale. Okay, page 2 has full detail of that story. And of course, cost of maintenance now a burden to government as 3 presidential jet proposed for sale. Okay, well, Kaduna's debts, El-Rufai's son Bello disagrees with brother. Okay, we could see that clergymen, leaders preach love, peace to mark Easter. Page 3 and 4 has a full detail of those story and the stories. On the 2024 governorship, Jimo Ibrahim says, I'm the most qualified. Okay, you want to know more about that? Check out the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning, speaking about being the most qualified of all. Okay, so that's the much you'll be able to take on our several dailies. Analysis comes up shortly. Please don't go away. Okay, y'all, if you're just tuning in, the program is Press Drive, and this is I-FLIER 103.3 FM Ibadan. My name is Samson Omotosho, and of course, I have joining me on a Monday Easter edition of Press Drive this morning, the Easter Monday edition of Press Drive. I have Honorable Femi Adebisi joining the program this morning. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Samson. Good morning, Nigerians. Yesterday was I was at the station yesterday, and I was ushered into a program yesterday, a Muslim program that was Ramadan lecture here. Yes, here yesterday, and the greeting was. Can you make a guess? The greeting was Happy Easter Ramadan. So I love that so much. Yes, it shows that we are intertwined, and what has united us is very, very minimal and infinitesimal to what is dividing us. So we should learn how to accommodate one another and imbibe the principles of what you call sacrifices. So we have been sacrificing ourselves, but let it translate into something meaningful to the development of human mind and to the nation. Yesterday, people were fed here yesterday, and if you remember, after the resurrection, Peter and the Lords, went back to the river fishing, and what Jesus said eventually to them when they were found by, when they met Jesus Christ was, if you love me, feed my sheep. So please, let us feed one another. Let us, show love and compassion to one another. Hunger is in the land. I keep reinforcing that. It is too loud to be ignored. So let us please, feed one another.
Okay, well, today is a World Tuberculosis Day, and of course, the federal government has been talking about the fact that yes, it's free, so you can go and do some free tests at any, federal hospital to check yourself. You need to know if something is really wrong or not. It's curable.
Yes,
it's
you don't wait until when it becomes something you can no longer handle.
You can no longer handle.
You see, God has been using the Damien Foundation to perform wonder in this respect, and we should take advantage of that.
All right, let's quickly get into the nitty-gritty of the story. So my sincere apologies, I'm having difficulty with my voice. It's not my usual one, but then just permit me this morning. Yes, it's been a very, a tough, should I say, a very challenging weekend, but then we move on. Okay, let's talk about this story. Governors and senators beg Nigerians say hardship over soon as Christians celebrate Easter. Governors, senators, and other prominent individuals have urged Nigerians not to lose hope in the face of the economic challenges in the country. In their various Easter messages on Sunday, they expressed confidence that economic reforms are being implemented by President Bola Tinubu would soon end hardship in the country. The president, on the assumption of office on May 29, 2023, abolished the costly fuel subsidy, which had drained the country's revenue as the nation spent 1.57 trillion naira to subsidize fuel in 2021 and 4.39 trillion naira in 2022. However, the fuel subsidy removal has led to a significant increase in fuel prices and impacted transportation costs and overall household expenses, with prices of food, building materials, and other items skyrocketing. The president's decision has, however, increased the funds accrued to states and local governments. The subsidy removal increased the average monthly disbursement from the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee to about 1.9 trillion naira against the previous average figure of 620 billion naira. Tinubu's administration also unified the exchange rate. It pledged to double the annual economic growth rate at least 6%. The reforms aim to create an environment conducive to investment, job creation, and economic prosperity. In his Easter message, the Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum called on the Christian community in the state and Nigeria to pray for Tinubu to succeed in administering the affairs of Nigeria. I'm going to leave it at that. It has a lot of stories in that. The story is very, very lengthy, but we'll leave it at that. A lot of messages have been coming. Governors begging Nigerians to endure hardship. They know there's hardship in the land. Gone are those days when the president will say, I don't know anything. I don't know if this is happening. But then it seems the president is of the know that something is really happening in the country and people are not happy about it. People are dying by the day, no doubt about it. Hunger, starvation is on the rise. But the governors, senators, presidents saying, please just give us a little time.
I would still want to say that all of us must, it's not patient any longer because we've been patient already. And what we should be asking for now is long suffering, but not on a blanket note. It has to come with a kind of assurance that all is going to be all right by the way and manner government is approaching the issue. And you see, the government needs to honestly have an assessment, a honest assessment of the situation on ground. And it's like there have been a kind of misconception about the situation on ground. Yes, one, we are talking about hunger. And when we are talking about hunger, it is not just that food are not available. The issue is that of affordability. So, but you see, in the government's approach, they keep talking about going to farm, doing this and all that, which is quite impressive, but it's a long-term measure. What do we do? How do you get the needed strength to get to the farm? Then, how about the security issues? How about the capital? How about the incentives? How about inputs and all that? So you see, a whole lot of things go with it. And you see, well, frantically, government have been working. You know, there are two ways through which government can approach that. Through the CBN, that is via their monetary interventions. We have seen a frantic effort by the government in that respect. About 1.5, billion dollars, have come in as a result of the fact that the monetary policy rates have been increased, which comes, of course, with a kind of terrible price to the country because, money will be coming in at the expense of the people because the interest rate will be going to as much as close to 40%. So, meaning that, investment locally will be discouraged, which is already in comatose. So, you don't get the light, you don't get the you don't have the needed, environment that will make economy thrive, that will make home thrive, that will make businesses thrive locally. And you see, when you are talking about GDP, the small and the medium scale account for the larger part of it. So meanwhile, the concentration of government is on the large scale economy, how they will develop. Recently, I think it was about 2 days or 3 days ago, government gave respites to about 107, 107 big companies that don't worry, don't pay tax. That is tax relief. Why? Because they invested over 2 trillion naira in the economy. So you see, and those taxes are what you use to make sure that life is bearable to every human being. So you don't see the people at the top, you don't see them making sacrifices, and they don't even talk to themselves that they need to sacrifice. But the people, that have committed virtually no sin, because we are in this situation, given the recklessness and misgovernance on the part of the people that are politically exposed and the political elites combined together, they caused this problem. And now we are the one to pay for the sin they have committed. So interventions in whatever manner should come with human face, in a way that it should be immediate and alleviate, especially if not other things, it has to alleviate what you call hunger in the land. And secondly, in terms of fiscal policies from the executive now, it's like I think the government is proposing what they call Renew Hope Infrastructural Fund, which they are going to launch very soon. So it's going to be in trillions of naira anyway. And you see, where they are focusing is far away from the issues that are bothering us now. According to Zakadedeji, the chairman of FIRS, who is in charge, he's part of the people in charge of that particular program, he said that the fund is in trillions now. I think the first phase is 20 trillion. So they are spending on road, spending on rail, spending on agriculture, spending on ports and aviation. No mentioning of electricity. No mentioning of getting our refinery, at least one of them, upgraded to the status of that of Dangote, so that we'll have enough of fuel supply locally and sell more, so that we can rake in the needed dollar and all that, and make things easier for the people. So we are not addressing the basics.
I mean, does it mean that perhaps they are not concerned about electricity? They are not really concerned about...
the issue of electricity, I think, sometimes it's a bit political. You see, when you are talking about energy, you are talking about both fuel and electricity and all other things, that make things work. In fact, energy is the pivot around which human activities revolves, both economic and social. So that is the pivot, that's the center. But you see, we don't see a kind of commensurate commitment to make sure that that particular sector works. So, which further have a terrible toll on what you call the local economy. So people are not having it, easy. So the moment you solve that particular aspect, you definitely, the issue of roads and all other things they are mentioning will be solved. Not only that, I think the president should revisit the PTF model of intervention during the time of Abacha. So I think the former president was the chairman of the PTF. So, and if you check out that model, they intervene in the areas of food, intervene in the areas of drugs, intervene in the areas of hospitals, intervene in the areas of roads and all that. I think that model worked wonders. you can still see the footprints of PTF intervention. You can see it around. In fact, some people that were there, that were around then and are still around, will bear me witness. So all these issues of distributing money, conditional cash transfer, which has reduced us more or less to almajiris and all that.
Okay.
It's inhuman and it's uncalled for. It's uneconomical.
All right, let's take another story. I want us to be as succinct as possible because we have limited time and we have so many stories to touch on this morning. Proposed merger of opposition parties can't oust APC. Election mood already. I mean, we're always in election mode every time. Osita Okechukwu is the one speaking. Former Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Osita VON, Osita Okechukwu, has explained why the recent calls for merger by opposition political parties to remove the ruling All Progressives Congress APC won't work. Okechukwu is a foundation member of APC, gave his opinion on Sunday in Enugu while reacting to the recent calls for merger trumpeted by Professor Patu Tomi and former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar while commenting on the recent presidential election in Senegal. According to the ex-Vox Von Boss, the call lacks a proper contextual foundation and dynamism. And of course, recall that there have been stringent calls for merger by Tomi, Atiku, and a host of others from major opposition parties, while congratulating Bassirou Faye, Senegal's president-elect, for repeating the feat achieved by the ruling APC in 2015. Looking at this, Osita is speaking as though he has forgotten that it was a merger that made up APC. And now he's saying that no merger can oust APC out of opposition. I mean, in 2027, although we are still in 2024, but we know they're always in election mode. And as it stands right now, he's speaking from the point of nobody, as it stands, can oust the APC.
Oh, well, you see, when you are in
no political party, so to say.
Well, I think Osita shouldn't play God, because God has his own mind and he has his own program. But of course, as a politician, yes, they will always talk that way. Because as for politicians...
Do you think Nigerians are happy with the current administration?
It's not a question whether we are happy or not. Everything still rests on us. We have that power to make the needed change. But do we have the political will?
Because they talk so much as though they are doing so well.
These people get prepared. But the voters, do they get prepared? These people meet, they associate. There is a kind of conspiracy, going on every day. But on the part of the people, are we organized to that extent? So that's why in most cases they will always have their ways. So, you see, and when you define politics, we keep mentioning that politics is who gets what, when, how, and probably how, for how much. But today I want to define politics as scrambling and partitioning of our collective patrimony. So, if that is the case, yes, nobody will want to, give in or submit, to the hegemony of others. So you want the hegemony to be entrenched and live forever. At the point, PDP said more than this. They said that PDP will rule for more than 50 years. But where are they today? So, let's keep on. But I know that, whatever goes up will always come down. It doesn't stay there forever. Yes, it doesn't stay there forever. So, you see, if you are doing it right, yes, you get the result. If you are not doing it right, yes, you get the result.
Gravity will always hold them to ransom.
Of course, that is the truth.
Okay, looking at it, we look at the time the president, the current president, who said something. I guess that was in London or so, where he was in the Chatham House.
All right.
Okay, steal it, grab it, run with it.
Oh well, you see, that is the mentality of an average politician.
Or is that where Osita is speaking from?
Politics is now speaking. He would speak that way. He said, okay, that politics is not serving the restaurant. So, it's a question of putting in energy, right or wrong. And make sure that you grab it, you steal it, you run away with it. And we saw that playing out in the last election. So, and the government needed to now seek and fight and struggle for credibility both locally and internationally, thereby giving it to various policies has introduced to gain popularities, and the result is what you are seeing today. But of course, I hope and I pray that God will teach them and give them the mind, the will to do the right things, to make sure that they get that needed credibility from an average Nigerian who holds the country, and not from outsiders, the IMF and all those things that are giving us wrong prescriptions that are killing us today.
Okay, let's take a look at this story. Army committed to total defeat of insurgents, bandits. That's coming from Lagbaja. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has stated the Nigerian Army's commitment and determination to ensure the total defeat of insurgents, marauding bandits, and all other forms of external and internal aggression disturbing the peace of the country. Lagbaja gave the assurance in his Easter message to troops of the Nigerian Army on Sunday in Abuja. Okay, he charged all officers and soldiers to use the season to pray for continued operational successes and continue to espouse the values and virtues of peace, love, and of course a sacrifice and the discharge of their constitutional responsibilities. Lagbaja said he had ensured the implementation of quality training towards combating the myriads of security threats confronting the nation. According to him, the Nigerian Army under his watch had continued to record tremendous successes in various operations at home and abroad, especially in the ongoing Operation Hadenkai in the northeast and other internal security operations nationwide. Okay, so he said, as we continue to push towards the final onslaught and the adversaries are troubling our nation, and I assure you that the welfare of officers and soldiers, including training and provision of the needed equipment, will always be prioritized to enable us to discharge our constitutional responsibilities effectively. That's Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja speaking here, talking about ending insurgency and, of course, insecurity across board, whether you call it insurgents, you call it terrorism, you call it bandits, you call it whatever you want to call it. But remember that the president has actually, he has given a name, another name, to bandits and kidnappers. He said, call them terrorists. They are no longer bandits.
Well, you see, if we should go that way, I think it has to be. I think those people has to be officially declared as terrorists, because as far as the government of this country is concerned, they are not terrorists officially. But you see,
but the president said they are
keep
terrorists.
Professing that, but they are yet to declare them officially as terrorists, because if they declare them as such, they will deal with them as such. Yes, of course, we've had things like that from the previous Chief of Army Staff in the time past, only to find out that the thing keep multiplying. At a point, it was Boko Haram, domiciled, within the Sambisa forest. So, and he said, we are going to conquer them. The result was that they gave us the report that, yes, we have decimated them. And when you are talking, mathematically, when you are talking about decimation, it means that you are fragmenting one whole number into various, various indices. So, which makes it, almost, difficult for you to take care of it, because you'll be dealing with several issues, not at the same center, but several places. And that's why the army is having it tougher than ever as we are speaking. And the armies are not designed or programmed to fight more than one battle at a time. But see them now, they are fighting more than one battle. Fighting Boko Haram, fighting ISWAP, fighting cattle slaughtering, fighting kidnapping, fighting the Igbos ENS thing, fighting at the Niger Delta.
IPOB and
ESL. How many of them do they have that kind of capacity? So they are talking about issues. This is not conventional war, and that is what the armies are trained for. So what they are fighting today is not conventional war. There are wars that are living with us as a result of our political, illness, political madness. So it is a bit psychological. It is a bit political. And if that is the situation, you have to deal with the issue from that angle. So Okay, for example, if he really wants to go out there and begin to do his job professionally, and of course, he has to be commanded by a politician, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and he said, please don't go towards that direction. What do we do? What will he do?
Okay.
So, the whole thing is a bit complex. They are having a situation wherein they cannot just do their job professionally. They are limited in several capacities in terms of trade, in terms of ammunition, in terms of equipment, in terms of the political will to even summon the whole situation. So they are very limited. Of course, there had been an allegation that Matawale, who is the defense minister, has been indirectly or directly supply food or whatever to the terrorists and all that.
Let's quickly talk about.
Is raging now. So,
let's talk about that story.
Okay.
I was about hitting that story. Alleged Matawale's palliatives to bandits. APC threatens to sue Zamfara PDP. The Northwest Zone of the All Progressives Congress APC has challenged the People's Democratic Party PDP in Zamfara State, demanding evidence to support allegations that the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, provided palliatives to bandits. Failure to provide evidence, APC warned, will result in legal action against the accusers. Speaking at a press conference in Kaduna on Sunday, the APC Northwest Zonal Publicity Secretary Musa Mada stated the importance of constructive criticism in politics, but cautioned against slanderous attacks that undermine freedom of speech. Mada accused the PDP-led government in Zamfara of persistently engaging in counter-assassination against Matawale, the immediate past governor of the state. APC asserted that a serious allegation against Matawale cannot be ignored, asserting that those behind the fake news must either substantiate their claims or issue a public apology to the minister. It has come to our notice that some, he said it in quote, some unscrupulous elements in this geopolitical zone, particularly Zamfara State, made it their daily habit of using instruments of mainstream and the new media to tarnish the image of our party leaders. He says, without mincing words, as we as a party strongly suspect these slanderous propaganda to have been sponsored by individuals very much related to the PDP government in Zamfara State. In fact, we have particular suspects, as we mentioned, one among the rest, and we are confident that we'll get hold of all necessary evidence that we'll use against them in the court of law as an allegation, as an investigation into the matter is already ongoing. Now, this story particularly is pointing out the fact that they have not gotten to the root of who is behind the fake news. They are alleging the PDP of all of these accusations, but then they have not really gotten evidence, or evidences against the PDP. As it stands, now, Bello Matawale has been alleged to give palliative to bandits, and they are denying the fact, saying that some unscrupulous element are behind these fake news, they called it.
Well, you see, one thing is unfortunate in this country. We don't have patriotism with us any longer. You don't have statespeople. They are so rare to get in this country.
Minister of State for Defense.
Yeah, the thing is this. People, when you are talking about patriotism, it has been substituted for what you call loyalty to special interests and political interests. So, it is either you are defending wrongdoings. Why? Because it's my party man. Because it's my leader. Because it's my party. And to some people, it's like, okay, let there be slander against them. Let us use it against them. Why? Because they are not my party. They are not my people. They are not interested. Are not eating, on their table. So, that's the kind of
political interest.
But you see, we don't seem to stand up for what the entity called Nigeria any longer. We stand up for our region. Has there
been Nigeria? Has there been Nigeria? Because the first thing that happens is I am first a Yoruba man
the moment
before I am in Nigeria.
Yeah, of course, the moment you get what you call the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, whether you want to say it's legitimate or illegitimate, yes, we get a country because you have that document and you have the geographical expression. Yes, but when you are now talking about nationhood, you might want to doubt that because we don't seem to be with one another. We don't reason as one any longer. So now, Talking about Matawale, yes, of course, what were his disposition when he was the governor of that particular state to the bandits? Was he not feeding them? Was he not paying ransom and all other things? So we saw that, playing out when he was the governor. Yes, now he's the Minister of State, Minister of State for Defense. Yes, of course, they know one another. They are in the state all together. But of course, in the end, they might not be able to substantiate that. Now, for them to substantiate that, we need to ask, who are the terrorists? Who is identifying them? So where are they? So, of course, to me, I might just know a particular person. Yes, that in the other ground, this is whom he's working for, and this is so. If food is extended to that person, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally, yes, of course, somebody can say, "Oh, yes, he's feeding the terrorist."
If these allegations are true,
yeah,
don't you think we are sitting on the keg of a gunpowder? Because this is a Minister of State for Defense.
No, the thing
if
is,
the story,
you want to ask me very recently,
the allegations are true. If they are true, we are really in trouble.
I have been speaking about the political will to surmount this crisis that is lacking. Very recently, do you know that it was difficult for the government to establish against the suspected Boko Haram, in the court of law recently, and the bulk of them were released back into the society. Well, of course, during the time of the last admission, do you know how many thousands of them that were rehabilitated and sent back to the society? So, if it's not by professing it that, oh, okay, I'm no longer working for them. You want to check out psychologically what led them into it in the first instance. Okay, can you make up for that particular gap? And you are sending them back to the society? Now, do you know how many of them that were released then that are still on government payroll that Nigerians are feeding even till now? So, a whole lot of things are, muddled up in this kind of issue. And you see, I keep saying it. We need to sit down, talk about it, and get this problem resolved. The people in the north, we must have their confidence that they are sincere about the fight against terrorism. Yes, the people in the south, especially the southeast, we need to get them involved. So yes, are you committed to the Nigerian project? If you are not, what are the reasons? Can we still work together? The people in the job, we need to sit them down. Are you committed to the Nigerian project? If not, underneath, you don't need to work against Nigeria. So if you are working against Nigeria, yes, what's the for what? If they explain themselves, can we mend fences? So we need to talk. The national divides are so widened to the extent that if we don't take care of it now, by the time we are now forced to sit down. Yes, of course, it might be coming up at a time when reconciliation might seem to be impossible.
In 2014, the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, said, and I quote, "Boko Haram are in my cabinet." How can you express that? Are we beginning to see what he said at that point in time?
Oh, well, there's virtually any government that have not expressed that. If the former president did not say that, of course, his wife said that. So, and to the extent of even presenting it in a more serious manner, he said that his government, that the cabals have taken over. A whole lot of things have happened in various administrations. Of course, I'm yet to hear that statement in the time of our current president, Tinubu. Yes, because he said that he knows and understands everything, and if anything's going on, please, every box chops on my table, ask me, I will be responsible. Yes, he has not denied. But of course, the people that are speaking for Mr. President they are saying things otherwise. Meanwhile, the president is saying that there's hardly anything that is happening that I'm not in control of. So, blame me for anything. But you see, the people are absolving Mr. President from all blames. Yes, rather than all of us thinking and talking together, in the light of the current realization that we are in a crisis. And the crisis, on top of the crisis, is what you call food inflation. How do we summon them? Not in terms of monetary now, but food inflation. Yes, our currency is heavily devalued, we all agree. But of course, now if you want to offend the gods, when I say the gods are human beings. Yeah, if you want to offend the gods, don't feed them for too long. then you see the rot. So people, ordinary man on the street should not be made the sacrifice, to clean the economic situation of the country. Yes, all of us must be involved in this, and if you are going to get involved, the energy to keep on believing, to keep on salvaging, to keep on being patient and suffer for the country, the energy must be there, and the energy is being fed today. So, and that's why, whether we are going to jump the economic norms, food has to be available, and I'm still repeating, it has to be available.
All right, phone line is officially open right now. Okay, 09160001033, 09160001033 or 0705 500 Don't forget, we are also streaming live on Facebook at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Okay, go on Facebook, check us out on Facebook, drop your comment, like and share. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Honorable, good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, my brother. How are you, sir? Happy
Easter
to
you, Mr. Fallow.
Happy Easter Ramadan.
Easter Ramadan, yes, that's the way to put it.
I like that greeting so much. I like it. I pray that Nigeria be just like that. Briefly, on the issue of Watawali, the Netherlands are not serious. Let the truth be said. If this is not time for them to be talking about, to be fighting about national disaster. See? Now, you are talking of Watawali this, Watawali that. What about other people? They are there. They are the ones sponsoring these people to be attacking the country. But unfortunately, Nigerians seem not to be looking for that angle. But I can tell you, all what is happening is politically motivated. They are just using the army, yes, to cover up. If we don't do the needful thing, Nigeria will continue to be explained to next place. And there is a collateral damage. Now, government is, let me say, the country is already a multinational or multidimensional problem. See, economy is there. And the masses are now suffering, facing the ground, what has not committed. Now, the rich people that are enjoying themselves. So I don't know how we can do this. Anyone is Tinubu going to face at the same time now. The security is there, the economy is there, food shortage is there. So Nigerians, let us come together as a brother, work together, and let's bring this country back. This country is still going to work. I'm very optimistic. Thank you. Good morning, sir.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fallow, for calling. Okay, so I say happy Easter Monday to every one of us. 09160001033, 09160001033 or 0705 500-1033. Also go on Facebook, like, share, and comment on our page on Facebook. You see there, we're streaming live on Facebook. Also, we're streaming live on YouTube and other social media platforms as well. So you can go there and do the needful. Now, we'll see where a particular story was talking about the fact that the presidential jet, 3 of them, are going to be on sale at the moment. Okay, let's take a look at, let's hear this caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, you can do well to call back 091 6000 1033, 091 6000 1033 or 0705 51033. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning, Comrade Kendi.
good morning, sir. Well done.
You're welcome.
I'm Comrade Kendi.
You're welcome.
I want to talk on the Seraph statement demanding accountability from some governors in Nigeria for the loan borrowed. Hello?
You can hear you, please
Yeah,
go ahead.
you, sir.
Oh, okay, that's from your end. Okay, 091 6000 1033 or 0705 500 1033. Call us on any of those lines. We're ready to take your call.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, my brothers. I'm Alaji Tunde Olaiwola.
You're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Nice meeting you.
Happy Easter Ramadan to you, sir.
Same to you. God bless your day.
Amen.
You see, it's quite unfortunate. The only organization that is focused, committed, patriotic, demanding accountability and transparency in governance is SERA. No. Can we mention any other rights group? No. They are the only committed one, and they have been winning. You see, Nigerians need to support SERA. No, let's ask ourselves, where are the money? What is the impact of the loans? The state, the federal, every one of them, the local are collecting. We still need in abject poverty, the poverty capital of the world. Nigeria still maintaining the anguish, the pain that still subsists in the land shouldn't have been. And SERAP have been fighting tooth and nail to ensure that we all, at least, get our leaders accountable. That is the only one. And you see, this issue of banditry, like my brother they have said, every government has its own people supporting Boko Haram, bandits, whatever. That is why we cannot win the war. Because when you have insiders among your government, how do you do? Before they took move forward, they are already there, informing them. So government has to have the will. The present government must have the will to tackle insecurity headlong. We are in farming season, and we need to assess the farms. Our farmers need to assess the farm if you want to get out of this problem. God bless your day.
All right. Thank you so much, of course,
you know my best
Alhaji. Okay.
That Nigeria, at the federal level, state and local government, that we play inside embargo on foreign borrowing. In fact, close our doors to people going out.
Okay, let's take this
People
call.
can only come in.
Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, comrade. Welcome back.
Good. So, I let Sarah demand for accountability from governors. You know, the governor in Nigeria, they have been, borrowing money recklessly without having something tangible to show. Most of the contracts, the award with the money are highly inflated, and there's nobody to check them. Even the State House of Assembly don't check the essence of these governors, including on your state. They don't check them. They just approve any loan they demanded for by the governor. They approve it without any questioning. In fact, they're supposed to ask people before getting any loan. You know, what SERAP is doing is a very good job. And we citizens, we must support SERAP in all its activities. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much, comrade Ajao, for calling back. Okay, well, that I want to disagree, with a point that Nigeria is the capital, poverty capital of the world. I want to disagree with that.
You sure?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy start to you.
Yes, you're welcome, sir.
My name is Kele Balabi from Malaka Shebodu. I just want to comment on the looting in Kebbi State, where some hoodlums broke into government and private warehouse. This act is condemnable. Those that behind it should be caught and be dealt with. Secondly, the government should find solution to a problem of food insecurity. People are feeling hungry. A hungry man is an angry man. All these palliative they are distributing cannot go anywhere. They should provide jobs. They should find food for man to eat. Secondly, I want to comment on the issue of Kaduna, where the government of Kaduna said that about $187 billion was left for him as a debt, and 87 billion naira and 115 contract liability. All these are governor. By the time they are going, they will make sure they empty the treasury. That those who are coming behind them, it will inherit a huge problem. See what you happen to Ubasani now. It is because we are hearing this right. The government is of that state is in the hand of opposition. We should be ruled with fear of God. Have a nice holiday.
All right, thank you so much. Okay. All right, let's see this. Okay. 0916 1033 or 0705 500 1033. I said I disagree with that based on the fact that we have so many countries like Haiti. We have so many countries that are going
the thing
through
is that
stuff.
you have to look at it from this angle. Look at the size of
What
Nigeria.
kind of index are
Look
they
at the size-
using? What
look at-
parameters?
You have to use population as well. You have to use per capita income. You know, so the GDP might be high, but what is per capita? What is the life expectancy? You know, when you're talking about poverty, it's not all about money alone. So there's intellectual poverty. There's still. Okay.
Let's take this call. Hello, good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
I am greeting Honorable Adebisi.
Good
Welcome,
morning.
sir.
Happy Easter Ramadan
Happy
to you,
Easter
sir.
Ramadan.
God bless you. We thank God that this is a natural, thing that happened. We should learn a lesson from that.
Yeah.
That God has put this religion for us is to make use of it and to live harmoniously. Let me go to the point. Oh, you didn't talk for it to work better.
May your reign be long.
Yeah, I met you with a loaded session today, and I don't know what to say, but let me just open my mouth, and I know that what I want to say is going to meet the target.
Okay,
Yeah, you talk about electricity, the way it is, that is frustrating, that we are not enjoying it. Look at South Africa. You can say for something megawatts, the police. What can we call Nigeria? And if the problem of electricity is solved, everything according to what you have just said, because you are not authority, the way you see it can be solved. Look at the people that are called a bike rider, a cycle rider. They will limit themselves to where they started their life route there. That's another one. I don't want to express it too much, but that's one. They put forth there. But one that a pentally speak as a Minister of Defense is a big gift to me. You know, it was one time where I learned that certain people, were in this yard. See, why? It's like, I see this, the major two parties as an alternative to alternate. As you see, finally, Kabara there, they give them different name. This is the name they give them. Why is that? If they have a political will, why can't they look for them? That is, they have made us proper. Every place is very overheated. We don't know where to step upon again. Oh, let me stop here. God bless you. We're talking about looking up.
All right, thank you. Okay, taking a look at, you were saying something about that.
Yes,
the index, the measure.
Yes, the measurement is this. You don't prorate, but you need to look at the volume of the people that are impoverished in this country and compare with the figures obtainable elsewhere in the world. So, and you have to see poverty, multidimensionally. You have to see in terms of lack of access to basic education, whether it is available. We have so many universities, but then of course, what do you get out of them? So intellectual poverty, you have to look at the infrastructural poverty, because once you have it in the deficit, it's this poverty. All things that makes life to be bearable, impoverished. So when you don't have them, commensurately. So all those are the things that are being looked at, and that's why they say, with the Nigerian size and population, and despite the fact that we have all the resources, both human and natural, so we are still in this kind of situation. So that's why they refer to us as as okay. I know there's another thing. Look at the numbers of out of school children in Nigeria, more than any problem with the rest of the world put together. So that is poverty.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Famiwa.
Resident broadcaster, Pastor Samson, good morning, sir. My honorable, good morning, sir.
Oh, love you so much, brother. Good morning, sir.
Happy New Month.
Same from here, sir.
It's happy New Month.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Only from Ijebu, I just say I should greet you. I'm hearing you loud and clear from my end.
We are expecting Gary Ijebu very soon.
Don't worry.
Abi Kokore.
Yes, happy Easter to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for calling. Yes, I I almost forgot it's a new month. Yes, I almost forgot. But then
because we are in the funeral of
exactly. So it's making it covering the entire thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, 0916010.
I hope you have not forgotten that it's a new day anyway.
Yeah, it's a new day. It's a new dawn.
Yeah.
Okay. 091601033 or 0705501033. Now we could see the I don't know. The son of El Rufai has been speaking lately, and I began to ask myself some question. I mean, you have been probing the present administration, Sani Uba. Yes, everyone is trying to do all of that, but then in recent times, he has been talking. And we could see even netizens were actually they were trolling his timeline, talking and hitting him and say, "Well, your dad was there. What did he do?" And it calls for a lot of reasons. Some people said, "Well, he's looking for political, relevance and all of that. Perhaps he might want to vie for a position someday and all of that." But what do you think concerning El Rufai's son? He's been commenting, talking.
I think El Rufai. I think it is El Rufai himself speaking through the son. Yes, that's the way I say it.
Okay.
And you see, if you are not careful, the political ebullition might just come through that kind of direction, especially from the north. You know, Rufai is nobody who is a pushover. Yeah, I mean, you can't push him over in the scheme of politics in this country. And you see, he's been succeeded by another person from his own party. So not another party now. Then you want to ask, why all this? So the answer is not far-fetched. You know, they find out that Rufai is no longer favorably disposed to the party called APC any longer. And he is frantically preparing for the presidency in 2007. So
27. Yes. Okay, let's take this call.
Hello,
good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Sorry for resurfacing.
Okay.
You should know me with that. Yes. Regarding the Nigeria situation, I want to give two lines from the topic, the pauper. They are found to pauper. Pauper, crowning your eyes in all directions, in no direction. What put forth malignant elements, dare to forge your picture face. What you see? What the effort? The time you simply kneel on a leafless tree. These people, they have made us to be kneel on a leafless tree or leaf. You know the middle Papa will be looking at them to look for what to eat. See, balancing that they are not distributing. Are we really a Papa? They are reduced our status. The God deliver us. But I know that God is there, according to Psalm 2. The man that is up is laughing at them. God bless you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling back.
So, like I said, El Rufai is frantically fighting to form another party, probably a third or fourth force now. So, you know, and the current administration will not be happy with that. You know, the governor there will not be happy with that. So, you know, those things are, you know, they are playing out now. And you see, yes, I brought my brother from Oluwo Kingdom. I've just spoken about the pauper. And who is a pauper? A pauper is somebody who is living in abject poverty. And it is a pauper you dish out little thing to.
Palliatives.
Palliatives. That's a pauper. So now it's now speaking. Are we truly pauper? So we have patrimony. We have money that belongs to us, but some people dishing out little thing to us. Why can't you just, you know, at least give us the enabling environment, make things right for us to thrive as, you know, as a sane Nigerian.
Okay.
You know, so we should, you know, be, you know, we should be brought out of a situation whereby a sane person is now beginning to doubt his insanity.
All right,
let's happening truly.
Okay, let's quickly go to the Facebook. Of course, like I said, we're live on Facebook, streaming live on I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Okay, so Miriam Yetunde speaking here says, good morning, Samson. Okay, well, let me just take a breather here. I'll be right back. so thank you for hanging in there. Miriam Yetunde says, good morning, Samson. And of course, Tolu Lokpe Adeyemi says, good morning, Samson. I totally support the action of a SARAP that our governors should come out and give account of the loans they've taken in their various states, because every governor cannot be like our governor here in Oyo State. Okay, you always talk about the governor who has always been given his account of stewardship since assumption of office, and one could see why we have many sustainable development projects. Okay, I know about that. Okay, so let's look at. I said we must be in know of the activities because we gave them the mandate. Okay, so well. You're actually talking about the president, the governor's, hold his work. And if you want to do that, you can actually come and make payment, and I'll do the PR for you very well. Good morning, Samson. Raji Afiz Abidemi says, an analyst in the studio on the issue of governors, senators beg Nigerians concerning hardship in the country. Honestly, the war against terrorism, the war against corruption, and the war against hardship are key to the survival of Nigeria. If they are to continue to be treated with levity, then the peace and development of Nigeria are being toyed with. Nigerian politicians and leaders should learn to match promises with performance. They would make promises only to come and tell the people at the end that Nigeria is a difficult country to govern. It's a difficult country to govern. Yet the leaders go in and come out of government richer than the country, leaving hardship on the trail of the people. Things should change. God bless Nigeria. Thank you, Raji Afiz Abidemi. Thank you for your message. Shegun Johnson says, good morning. I want to agree with Okechukwu that the proposed merger by opposition will not work because the current president, P-Bat, is a tactician, intelligent and highly erudite politician who knows what it takes to be a leader. He possesses all qualities of good leader. Intelligent. Okay. You can see he's he's revamping our economy with the appreciation of naira over the dollar.
But revamping the naira, not revamping the family, not revamping the people.
Okay,
so
well,
it has to translate to food on the table of everybody.
Okay, well,
At the immediate, that should be that's how you know somebody who is really erudite, not somebody who's,
Okay, well, he said he's an erudite. He's possessed all the qualities. Yes,
I submit to that, but it must come with human face.
Yeah, exactly.
At the immediate, I'm telling you, if something is not done,
but do you agree?
We'll be building a new set of terrorists for the future.
Okay.
By the time you keep, subjecting people to what you call, SSURU, and then no food.
We have to go.
You are building more thieves and more terrorists.
We just have to go. Well, I appreciate every one of you that have been part of the show. Thank you so much, Honorable Femi Adebisi, for coming this morning.
It's my pleasure.
All right. I appreciate every one of you who's called in, sent in your comment on Facebook. We appreciate you. Please stay tuned with I-FLIER 103.3 FM. Of course, up next is Ketek Peroy with Adejari Amuda and Idowo Lotto to do the Yoruba edition of Press Drive. Please join me by 11:10 this morning on Discourse Points as we take a look at the Easter celebration in another dimension. God bless you for listening. I'm Samson Omotosho. Happy New Month and have yourself a great day.